Welcome to a GTV Preview Show for racing at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, Saturday the 1st of October. It is a double header on Saturday, racing at Turffontein on the inside track and racing at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. And I'm going to preview both shows, but we'll kick off with Hollywoodbets Durbanville first up. And there's 9 races on the card at the course, and we're at the country course. Looking forward to the 9 races that are on show. We have 2 features to look forward to: the Hollywoodbets Match'em Stakes and the Hollywoodbets Diana Stakes, and some cracking runners going to take their place in the lineup. But we'll start off in race number 1. The first race does not form part of any exotic, as it is a 9-race program. So the buy part commences in race number 2, place accumulator race 3, and the pick 6 in race number 4. Now, having a look at race number 1 on the program, set to be run over the 1,000 meter trip. 12:55 is the time you need to get your bets on for race number 1. This is Hollywoodbets Durbanville welcomes you maiden special weight over the 1,000 meter trip. Early favorite is number 11, Red Sash, the filly taking on the boys, and she's a horse that has drawn wide at a second start now, drawn out in gate 11 as opposed to being drawn in gate number 1 on debut. And perhaps the lack of race experience just caught her out on debut, where Country Time was the runner that had the experience under the belt and put that to good use. And Red Sash, possibly that was just the factor that caught her out on debut. But second time up, despite the wide draw and despite it being a filly taking on the boys, she carries 56.5 kgs in this lineup. I think she's a horse that they have to beat her. She did find a bit of market support on debut, 9-2 into 3-1, and narrowly touched off by the Candice Bass Robinson charge Country Time. But I think she can put that experience to good use in this lineup, and she'll go very, very close to getting the job done in the first race. Now, a horse that I thought could be some decent value is number 8, Master Point. Now, he's a runner that has had 4 starts to date for only 1 good run, and that did come in the penultimate start behind Tough Terrain. He was comfortably beaten, but Tough Terrain was a runaway winner on that occasion. And Keegan Mello, well, he rode the first 3 winners on the card that day. And if I remember correctly, Hollywoodbets Durbanville, Hollywoodbets announced their partnership with Cape Racing, and they opened Hollywoodbets Durbanville that day, and Keegan was in form. Tough Terrain, a comfortable winner, but Master Point at around 12.5 to 1 in the market, I think could represent some value. Last time out, had a horrible draw to contend with, went to the front, but tired late on in the day behind Champion Warrior. I think this horse with a decent draw now, gate 8, Joshua and Solomon Stakes a ride, could be one to include into exactors and those swingers. Number 4, Trippy T, 3-year-old son of Trippy, and the Dam Ladi Va. 2 wins over 1,000 meters, 1 win over 1,300 meters. Maybe one to keep an eye on with Grant van Niekerk in the hands, priced up at around 6 to 1 in the market. And others to possibly include into trifectas and quartets. Could be a horse like number 3, Georgie George, and maybe a horse like number 10, Canatonic. But for race number 1, I think number 11, Red Sash, is certainly the horse that they all have to beat, but some value about number 8, Master Point. That's race number 1, does not form part of any exotics. Now we'll move along to race number 2 on the program, which is the race set to be run over the 1,000 meter trip. Get your buy-part bets on by 2:30. This is a middle stakes, and it's a competitive field that line up for this event. 8 runners go to post. I like a horse in the race here, and he's an old boy, but he's a horse that I think represents tremendous value in this 8-horse field, and that's number 5, Skidoo. Now, the reason I've picked Skidoo out is he's a course specialist, and he's a course and distance specialist. 54 kgs on the back. He's a horse that, yes, he may be old and vulnerable to younger horses, but if we go to the run on the 11th of May 2022, now he ran 3.5 lengths behind Double Charge at Kenilworth in an MR92 handicap. Behind him in the race was Barney McGrew, Rod the Mod, and Elusive Trader. Now Barney McGrew is in some cracking form at the moment, and is a runner that many punters are certainly going to include into the mix, and is the 3rd favorite in the race. He is 4 kgs better off with Barney McGrew, and he beat Barney McGrew by 2 lengths. So I think Skidoo, if just bouncing back to his better form, especially being back at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, where he hasn't run for quite some time. The last time he ran here was on the 27th of September, in an MR 96 handicap. That was last year. He finished second behind Mr. Cobb. So this horse has dropped from a 92 on that day to a 78, 54 kgs on the back, 9 runs over course and distance, 2 wins and 4 seconds. So that's the value in the race for me in terms of those buy parts. Healthy respect for horse number 8, Giacomo Puccini, despite having to carry 62 kgs as well. He's a horse that will be doing his best work late on in the day. Ran second behind Ambiorix last time out. And then you have to respect the 3-year-old Seeking the One, along with the last time winner, who's 1 from 1, Love in Winter, Vaughan Marshall, Brett Crawford. They have 2 strong runners in the lineup. But the value in race number 2 is going to be number 5, Skidoo, for those buy parts. Now moving along to race number 3. And in the third race on the card, this race is going to be run over 1,400 meters. It is Hollywoodbets Spring Country Series Maiden Special Weight, and quite a big field lineup for this event. Just having a look at the race, I thought it could just be a tricky start to the place accumulator if you aren't in the camp of this individual. That's number 2, Gimmy's Laddie. Now, Gimmy's Laddie, this is a horse that I'm going to go with, and he's going to be a PA banker for me. Drawn out in gate number 2, he's got a positive draw to start off with. Whereas the horse that I make his main danger, number 14, Max Starter, is drawn out widest of them all in gate number 14. So Max Starter has got a bit to do in order to get into a handy position, whereas Gimmy's Laddie is going to be there for free. He's a horse that in his first 2 starts in KZN, he's run from off them. 1 run has been around the turn, and the other has been down the lane at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. But I think with race course experience, being drawn in gate number 2, Keegan DeMello is going to get this one into a striking position. He steps up in trip to 1,400, which is going to be right up his alley. And Gimmy's Laddie, I think he'll possibly take some beating in race number 3 on the card. He has been priced up at around 18 to 10 in the market, and he's a horse that I think you could certainly include in those all-to-comes, because Keegan DeMello, Dean Kanemayer, and especially Kaya Stables, I believe they're going to have a big day at Hollywoodbets Durbanville on Saturday. Max Starter, as I mentioned, a horse that you have to respect. Then number 3, Cosmic Event. Now this is a 3-year-old son of Karari. Stepping up in trip to 1,400 meters could just be what this horse is looking for. Blinkers on, Joshua Solomons takes the ride, and he carries 54 kgs on the back. He's got a draw of gate number 3, and he's been priced up at 20 to 1 in the market. So in the third race, this is the value. Cosmic Event, 20 to 1 in the market with just 54 kgs and the blinkers going on. I think that Joshua could just get this horse in the firing line and one for those places. I think he could be worth a place bet. But the 2 horses for me here, numbers 2 and 3. And then if you want to go a bit wider in those PAs, then you could include horse number 14, Max the Otter. But I'm firmly in the camp of number 2, Gimmy's Laddie. And as I mentioned, the value does look to be with number 3, Cosmic Event. Now we'll move along to race number 4, which does start the Pick 6 at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. And I'm sure there is going to be a bumper Pick 6 pool, because there's some cracking horses on show, as I mentioned earlier, and all the punters out there will certainly want to get involved in those Pick 6s. Now the 4th race, 1,400 meters the distance, 14:40 is the time you need to get those Pick 6 bets on. This is Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge Maiden Special Weights for the fillies and mares, and there aren't any scratchings in this lineup, but a race where you possibly need to include a couple of runners just to get through in this first leg of the Pick 6. It does look to be a competitive event, and a race where I wouldn't be surprised if we were to get a result. Now race 4, and just having a look at the favorite in this lineup, that's number 9, Turn the Page, at 4 to 1 in the market. Not a strong favorite, but a horse that must be given the utmost of respect after running 3rd last time out behind Cityscape, who was a comfortable winner. That was over 1,000 meters. And Turn the Page, a horse that, if managing to get into a handy position, could be a serious contender. It doesn't look to be a race where there's a lot of pace, so I don't think Richard Fourie will have much trouble overcoming the draw, even though it's gate number 9 over 1,400. I think he'll get this horse into a striking position, and she's one that could enjoy the 1,400 meter trip. And after having 4 rounds under the belt, good improvement last time out, could make further improvement to have a winning chance in the lineup. Number 7, Tuscany, the second of the Justin Snaith runners. Keegan DeMello takes a ride. A horse that has been comfortably beaten in her 3 runs to date, 1400 once again. First time at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Another horse that I think you have to throw into the mix. Red Kite is at 5-1 in the market. Ran second last time out to Hear My Voice at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Craig Bantam aboard once again. And the 1400 could just suit this individual. She has gone up to 1600 before and placed over 1600. So could be there or thereabouts. Yaya Maria is a horse that at around 8-1 in the market. If we just go on that run behind Pacific Green, took on winners in that lineup. Last time out, I think you ignore the run completely. 13 out of 13 draw, over raced and had no finish on that occasion. So he put a line right through that run. Corner offer now takes a ride. Slightly better draw over 1400 and one to include into the mix as well. And then, of course, if you include in number 7 Tuscany, I think you have to go with number 2 Daisy Duke as another inclusion into race number 4. And then the horse that is so well bred, related to champion horses Hawam, Rainbow Bridge, Golden Ducat, that's number 11, Gift from Heaven, 3-year-old daughter of Karari. She's shown nothing to date. I'm sure that Eric Sands, along with the Volkerbosch Drift team, would have been disappointed with the first 2 efforts to date. But in saying that, she goes over the 1400 for the first time. Around the bend, she has a horrible draw to contend with, but I think that there could be some improvement to come from this 3-year-old daughter of Karari. And if she's just half as good, or even a quarter as good as her siblings, then I think she'll be a serious contender in this lineup, especially if she just improves on her recent form to date. So it's a competitive start to the pick 6. Horses that you certainly could include numbers 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'll throw in number 11, Gift from Heaven, as a huge roughie in the 4th race on the card. Moving along to race number 5. And race number 5 is going to be run over 1400 meters. And this is another special weight for the fillies and mares. 15 is the time you need to get those bets on. Jackpot 1 starts in this race. And Jazabella, that's the favorite in this lineup at 8-10 in the market. And last time out, I thought Jazabella would take a power of beating at Hollywoodbets Scottsville over 1400 meters. But she just found one too good in the form of Berengaria, who has subsequently come out to win. That form line isn't the strongest form line, but I think that Jazabella, based on what she's taken on in this field, I think she should be too strong for them, and she should take a power of beating. And in terms of those pick 6s, I haven't made Jazabella a pick 6 banker on my shortlist, but I think you could take a stance and you could banker this one in the pick 6. I'd be surprised if she were to find one too good, especially being drawn positively. She's got the racecourse experience. She's gone up to 1400 meters last time out. And as I mentioned, nice draw. I think this is a horse that they all have to beat. And then number 11, Sunlit from Heaven. Expect some improvement from this individual. She is drawn wide, but one that could run into those exacta positions. Princess Louisa, she's fairly exposed in the maiden ranks, but could be one to include along with number 9, Jam for those exactas. But race number 5, I think it's all about number 3, Jazabella. And race 5, get those Jackpot 1 bets on by 3:15 on the afternoon. Race number 6 on the program, and 1400 meters the trip. 1550 is the time you need to get involved in those Jackpot 2 bets. And this is Hollywoodbets middle stakes for the 3-year-old fillies. And it certainly is a cracking event with some decent fillies on show here. And we'll see who comes out trumps in this event. Early favourite is number 7, Gimme a First. Dean Canamea, Keegan Mello, Kaya Stables, all represented here with number 7, Gimme a First. Really impressive on debut. The way this filly quickened was impressive, and I thought one that you had to put down into the notebooks, because she's one that I think you can follow until she gets beat. 15-10 in the market, fastest to finish on debut. She beat number 4, Future Girl, on that run, and she's better off at the weights with Future Girl as well. Future Girl has to find 5 lengths with number 7, Gimme a First. Both horses return off a rest. Future Girl has come through to frank the form line. The form lines are looking strong, but I'm not convinced that Future Girl will be able to turn the form around. Gimme a First 15-10, Future Girl 2-1. I thought there'd be a bit bigger gap in the market, but in saying that, both horses are ones that you have to respect. But I think number 7, Gimme a First, should be a bit too good for number 4, Future Girl. Horses like number 3, Gimmy's Lassie, win off a last start. Kaya Stables as well. Candice Bass Robinson, draw negate number 3. And she's a horse that I know Candice Bass Robinson does feel that she's got tons of ability. 1400 meters now from a positive draw. Gareth Wright aboard. He's riding extremely well at the moment. And he's having his fair share of winners down in the Cape. So I think Gimmy's Lassie is one that you have to include into the mix as well. A horse like number 2, Pukalpa, 1400 meters now. Draw negate number 2. Another horse that I throw into the mix. So 2, 3 and 7. I think it could certainly be between those 3 horses. And Richard Fourie, he's aboard number 6, Butterfly Beauty. She ran in a Group 1 last time out, the Tequini Stakes, beaten 8 lengths behind Canadian Summer. Prior to that, she ran in the Bloodstock Cup sales race on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, beaten behind Featherboa, beaten 2 lengths. So maybe number 6, Butterfly Beauty, could be one to include. But for me, the top 2 selections in the race is going to be number 3, Gimmy's Lassie, and number 7, Gimme a First. I think Kaya Stables do hold a strong hand here. 2 different yards represent them, but I think that they could fight out the finish. Number 3, Gimmy's Lassie, and number 7, Gimme a First. Now, race number 7, the first of our features at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Hollywoodbets Diana Stakes, a Group 3, 1400 meters. The distance, 16:25, is the time you need to get your bets on. And I can tell you that there's been a lot of money, a lot of betting support for number 7, Tipsy Tarragon. She's an individual that is a 2-time winner from 3 starts. She opened up at around 11-2 in the market. She's been shortened right down into 2-1. Chansonnet, that opened up at 5-10 in the market, has drifted out to 9-10, while the support has come for number 7. PA Banker wise, I'm happy to go with number 6, Chansonnet, but I'm going to include the money horse into those pick 6. That's number 7, Tipsy Tarragon. Now, Chansonnet in the Mallorca last time out, that was her last start 245 days ago. She looked to be a winner, but the superstar, Captain's Ransom, came to get her late on in the day. Cracking run from Captain's Ransom, a cracking ride from Richard Fourie, and I don't need to mention what she has done in this past KZN champion season. She's an absolute superstar for the Justin State and Suzette and Barcy Falloon combination there. Chansonnet, can she go one better than she has in her last 2 starts? Well, she's a horse that I think she's one to keep a close eye on during the Cape season. She does return from a long rest, which is a negative, but I think that the team will have her in good shape. She's I don't think she's going to be fully wound up for this run, but based on pure ability, I think that she should go very, very close. Rest plus 1 stats read, 1 run for 1 win, 1 run at the course, 1 win. Grant van Niekerk, he's ridden her on 6 occasions for 3 wins, 2 seconds and 1/3. And she's a horse that is yet to miss out on the top 3. So Chansonnet, certainly one that's going to go very close. And for me, I think she should be in the first 2. And if she doesn't win, then number 7, Tipsy Tarragon, I think is a horse that possibly is the one that could get the better of Tipsy Tarragon. 50.5 kgs on the back. As I mentioned, 2-time winner. And she's been winning quite comfortably. She won a penultimate start, beating Echo of Life by 1 1/4 of a length, and then last time out was a comfortable winner, beating Time Flies, and Time Flies has come through to frank the form there. So Tipsy Tarragon, one that I think you have to give healthy respect here. Just watch the money, and if there's a follow through of market support for this one, then you know that Tipsy Tarragon is seriously fancied to get the job done in this Group 3 Diana Stakes. And Joshua and Solomon's, Justin Snate, they've had a couple of winners in the past Cape seasons, especially on horses at the bottom of the weight. So certainly one that you have to keep a very close eye on. So 6 and 7, I think the horses that will fight out race number 7 on the card. But in terms of those place accumulators, I'm all in here with number 6, Chansonnet. Moving along to the race number 8, and this is the second of our features at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Hollywoodbets Match'em Stakes, Grade 3, 1400 meters. 5 o'clock is the time you need to get your bets on for race number 8. And at first glance, I thought it could just be with number 7, Trip of Fortune. I thought that this individual could just be a horse that could be hard to beat here after his last win when he beat Native Tongue. Now, the handicapper has given him a 4-point penalty for that win. But the way he won was just so impressive. It was a comfortable winner. Gareth Wright was absolutely motionless going through the 400, and he just had to give this horse the go along. And Trip of Fortune, he won a nice race there. He won a bit better than the margin does, to just 3 parts of length, beating a native tongue. Unbeaten over the distance, unbeaten over course and distance. Aldo de Mayo is plus 1 kg aboard this individual, so he carries 59. But I think Trip of Fortune, he's a horse that he's going places. He's a 5-time winner from 10 starts, and one that you got to give serious respect to in this lineup. So Trip of Fortune, he's going to be my top choice. Cosmic Highway, a runner that returns from a 119-day rest, just shy of 4 months off the track, and is one that, when I was having a look at the form lines, he does have the beating of Trip of Fortune at the weights. So a horse that I've included into the mix as well, despite returning off a rest. He's one that does run well fresh, and last season in the Matcham Stakes, he ran third behind Seeking the Stars, who is, we all know, is a 1400 meter specialist, and he carried 52 kgs that day. He carries 54 this time out. He's now a 4-year-old, and we'll see how he does shape up in the lineup. Silver Operator, 1400 meter specialist, one that you have to include based on the Matcham Stakes run last year. He's waited to get the better of Cosmic Highway, and Silver Operator, he does return from a rest, but he does run well fresh, and one that I'd include into the mix as well. So 4, 7, 10 horses that I'd include. Then the Hollywoodbets Durban July 10th place finisher, that's Pomp and Power. And this individual, over 1400 meters, he's only won once from his 2 starts, but he's unbeaten at the course. He's a 5-time winner from 12 starts. We all know that Justin Tate seriously thinks highly of this individual, and if Pomp and Power doesn't just need the outing, then he could be one that you include into the mix as well. But I'm going to be with number 7, Trip of Fortune, ahead of number 10, Cosmic Highway, and number 4, Silver Operator in the Hollywoodbets Matcham Stakes, the Grade 3, and I'm looking forward to this event. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker, and certainly horses that take their part in the lineup are a couple that are going places. Now we'll move along to race number 9 on the program. This is the last race at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. 17:35 is the time you need to get your bets on for the last race. 12:50 is the trip that it's going to be run over. It's an MR 72 handicap. No scratchings in this field. We have a field of 14 runners that compete in the lineup, and the value in the race here for me, I'm not quite sure whether he'll be value come race time, but that's number 8, Cheeky Laddie, 5-1 in the market. This is a horse on debut that I thought he could just be too good for the opposition. Now, the horse that ran second in the race, Red Magician, he's been slightly disappointing. The horse that ran third in the race in the form of Lazy Guy, he's been disappointing. But in saying that, there has been winners from the form line, and Cheeky Laddie, just looking on what he takes on in this lineup, I get the feel that he's a horse that Dean Kanemayer can have high hopes for, because I think he's gonna be one that he could just be a really good sprinter for the connections. 58.5 on the back. The handicappers chalked him up at 83. I believe he's going to be way better than that. He's a 3-year son of Gimme the Green Light. He's Dam. We all know what she went on to achieve. All is Secret. She was a really good racehorse, and he got the job done on debut, beating Red Magician. He tackles the turn for the very first time, the left-hand turn. It's been 48 days since that maiden victory, but I think Cheeky Laddie, he's going to go very, very close here. Heart Stealer, he's a horse that has been gelded after his maiden victory when he beat Rockpool. He got the job done. He's drawn wide in gate number 13, so I'm going to be interested to see how they ride him from the draw, but he's a horse that usually runs from midfield. Sean Veal takes a ride for Eric Sands, and if not just needing the run, then he's one that could run into the money. Number 5, Michael Faraday. Aldo de Mayo rides for Candice Bass Robertson. Ran behind Lightspeed last time out. Wasn't disgraced, beaten under 2 lengths, and one that goes over 1250 meters now, so he does drop in trip from the 1600 last time out, but is a runner that could certainly get into the mix. And I think those 3 horses are possibly ones that you could include into the pick 6 if you aren't if you aren't in the camp strongly of an individual, they are betting 5-1 the field. So I think you certainly could go with a bit of cover in the last leg of the pick six, especially if you're running this far. You want to have a bit of cover in what looks to be an extremely competitive event. But I'm all in with number 8. That's Cheeky Laddie. I think he's a horse that the connections can expect quite a bit from, and he is a one-time winner from one start. He's unbeaten, and I think he could remain unbeaten come Saturday at Hollywoodbets Durbanville in the last race on the card. So hopefully it's a profitable day racing at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Hopefully you make a bit of cash, and hopefully I've managed to guide you in the right direction. Looking forward to all 9 races on the program, especially the features on the afternoon. The Hollywoodbets Match'em Stakes, the Group 3 for the Colts and Geldins, and the Hollywoodbets Diana Stakes, the Group 3 for the fillies and mares. Now, it's going to be some cracking racing action. As I mentioned, it is a double header, but Hollywoodbets Durbanville, 1st October, 9 races on the card. And I wish you the best of luck and happy punting.